The Mediterranean Sea is turning into a hot chemical soup, surrounded by heavily populated land on all sides and a single point of entry for oceanic currents. The Mediterranean Sea is changing faster compared to other seas. Worldwide, human activities have released a lot of extra CO2 into the atmosphere. And often, these activities damage the natural systems that would sequester some of that carbon, like peatlands or seaweed forests. Without anywhere else to go, a lot of this extra carbon ends up diffusing into the ocean. The extra CO2 reacts with seawater, creating a chemical reaction that results in carbonic acid and free hydrogen ions. The presence of these extra hydrogen ions reduces the pH of the ocean. This process is called ocean acidification, and it is a huge problem, especially for marine calcifiers, mollusks, corals, bryozoans, or other organisms who use calcium carbonate present in the water to create shells, skeletons, and other structures that become homes for other species. This can alter marine food chains around the world, affecting billions of people who depend on the ocean for their calories and livelihoods. But what do we know about bryozoans? Wait, do you even know what a bryozoan is? Or why this is likely the first time you've heard about them? Oh, alright. Bryozoans are a collection of filter-feeding invertebrates living within a carbonate structure, like an apartment building, and inside each apartment there is a tiny zooid. Zooids are multicellular animals, typically about 0.5 millimeter in size. Each zooid is in charge of one job that helps the whole. Some zooids filter food out of the water, others anchor the colony to the substrate. Some combine calcium and carbonate from the seawater to construct their skeleton, while other zooids maintain the cleanliness of that skeleton. Bryozoans can be found all over the world, from the poles to the tropics, from the deep sea to the intertidal zones, and even in rivers. And in places like the Otago Shelf in New Zealand, they create reefs which protect coastal areas from erosion and support diverse ecosystems, providing many caloric and economic benefits to the local communities. They are simply amazing, yet we know very little about them, so it is crucial to learn how shifts in ocean conditions will affect these relatively unknown animals. To do this, researchers have visited a magician's cave. La Grotta del Mago is a cave on the island of Ischia off the coast of Naples, Italy. This cave is a natural analogue to study how populations of marine calcifiers and their associated microbes respond to a hot, low pH Mediterranean. For you see, La Grotta del Mago, it has a volcanic vent releasing CO2 into the water, which lowers the pH in the area around the cave compared to another similar cave on the island, which has natural pH levels. Researchers selected 2 species of bryozoans with different skeletal structures, each occurring at both caves: Pentapora otomuelleriana and Myriapora truncata. 2 caves with the same species allow researchers to compare compensatory mechanisms the 2 species use to cope with changes in their environment, such as variations in skeletal mineralogy and microbial communities. For example, at the vent site, one species incorporates a lower magnesium content in the calcite, reducing the solubility of its skeleton, as it simultaneously builds a thinner skeleton to reduce energy investment. However, a weaker skeleton may make this bryozoan more susceptible to damage, compromising its ability to resist other stressors. While the other species shifts to building thicker skeletons, the extra energy investment of which seems to drive a reduction in the volume of zooids. At the same time, the species shows traits such as less soluble skeletons and slower calcification, and growth rates that may confer an increased resilience to ocean acidification conditions. The researchers also characterized the microbes within these species for the first time, noting that microbes that could play essential functions to bryozoans decreased at the volcanic vent site. But what happened when warming interacted with acidification? Over the years, the encrusting species reduced its cover at the two sites due to increased oceanic temperatures. But the effect of acidification at the vent site worsened the impacts of warming, increasing the loss of bryozoan cover and mortality. These findings suggest that despite some adaptive traits, bryozoans face significant threats under future oceanic conditions. So why is all this relevant to the Mediterranean and humans in a changing climate? Bryozoans protect our coasts from erosion. Bryozoans offer refuge for the marine animals we depend on. Yet, humans do not know enough about their other benefits, such as possible microbial biocompounds with algaecidal or antibacterial properties that could be revolutionary for human needs. Simply put, we just don't know enough about bryozoans to know for certain what will happen to them in the future. Thank you for watching.